I have not uploaded a video in a while, and that's because I am absolutely terrible at time management. By the time I was uploading my last video, I was already working on a tool that I wanted to share with other people. It was mostly a tool that I would just use for myself, and I was thinking, I already have this, I use this, it's probably going to take me a week or two tops for me to add in a few features here and there, and then all of a sudden I could share this with other people. I mean, how hard could it be? I clearly missed that mark by a really long time. I think I got like about 40% of the way through, and it was months in, and I was looking at it going like, I don't even think I'm halfway through as yet, and I'm already months deep. And just recently, I got to the stage where I was almost complete. I'm talking about 95% complete, and then a thought hit me. Do people even want this? Because genuinely, in that entire time, I could have just been making videos or doing anything else. I just honestly was like, I need to get some kind of feedback. So this is what this video is. Essentially, I'm going to show you the tool that I've been working on. Specifically, what it is a tool that's meant to be a comprehensive suite for training LoRa's. You can use it to download images. You could use it to edit the data set that you would have for your LoRa's. And you could also use it to train the images as well. There's tools already that exist for each of these things by themselves, but this was meant to be a holistic tool that compiled all of them, and this ended up taking way longer than I thought. With this video, what I mostly want is feedback. If you guys go and see the tool and you're like, man, I'll never use that in a million years, I don't want this, like, I want to know that. I really want to know, because honestly, I think I should have just been making regular videos in this entire time. I literally just don't even know if people want this. I literally just don't know. I guess in a way, this is for me to see if it even makes sense to continue to work on the thing, or if I should just be making regular videos, right? So let's show the tool. Alright, this right here, you can see this is the tool. There's already a data set here loaded up in it. You can see that there's pictures of the images that are in the data set. There's like little information about the images and stuff. I'm just gonna assume that people watching this video mostly know how training images and stuff work, and I'm not dealing with anyone who's like too confused. But it should be pretty self-explanatory for the most part. So let me actually show you the tool in work. Imagine that you have a data set or something that you want to train, what the process like that would look like. First thing is, you can see that I'm on the dataset page right now. If I go to the downloader page and I swap to the Yandex downloader here, you can see there's different things like stuff for like downloading anime images from different places. Anyway, so we use Yandex here. So we come here, we just add how many images we want to download. This would be the name of the dataset when we download it. I don't believe you can actually name the dataset properly from here. So that should give you an insight into the fact that there are missing features, because you should be allowed to do that. I think I was trying to do that, but I had some issue, but it's hard for me to remember because I've been working on this for so long. I can't even remember how what decision, what was the reason I did it like this. Like, so we just type something in here. This can be anything, by the way, because again, we're using Yandex. This will search that search engine for the images, right? And again, that's a search engine that you can use to search anything, right? So we'll just try a person here, since that's like an easier thing. So we'll do like Angelina Jolie, and we set the limit here to about 50. Actually, let's set this to 100 instead, right? And we just click download here. So you can see it gives you a little like notification thing. It has to open a browser in the background to be able to get images from Yandex, because of how the site works. Okay, so it's finished loading the browser. And now it should start downloading the images pretty soon here, you should see. And I'll leave this in so you can see how long it takes. Okay, there we go. So we see the images, and now it's like downloading images of Angelina Jolie. Also has an image of a curtain here, this is great. I want to show you like how it works when how the filters and stuff work. So you download the images there. I just typed in Angelina Jolie, and magically images of her have appeared. So I go back to the dataset thing here. You can see this has the same name as the original, the dataset name thing that we had before. So what you want to do, you want to go to the detect tab. You click onto this, and there's a bunch of different things you can detect. You can detect faces, you can detect people, text, objects. You can use clip, which is like a classifier. I don't want to explain that right now, but it's like, if you're familiar with clip, it allows you to use clip in this UI here. We go to the tagger, which is probably the easiest thing here. You can see detect taggers. This should probably say detect tags. I did say it's 95% complete. So we click onto this, and you'll see what will happen. What this is going to do is going to use like a tagger, go to all the images and automatically add tags to them. And now you can see, now all of these images have tags here. So like earrings, solo focus jewelry, bare shoulders blurry. And you can do things like, for example, come up to this search bar and I can type earrings. And this will have all the images that have earrings in them. I think you could also type minus earrings. And I say I think, because I've been working on this for so long, I can't remember some of the things. But like, let's hope this works. So minus earrings. So there should be images that don't have earrings. This works with multiple tags. So I could say earrings, and I could say white dress. I think I saw as one. So these are the ones where she has an earring and a white dress. Here are ones where she has a black dress. And when you go to the detect tab, It only works on the current images that are here, right? Right now, if all I wanted to do is just take those images and then train them, I just pop over to the trainer here, which is probably the least developed part of the coding thing right now. But you would basically just go here and you would just click start training. You would select a dataset. You'd have to select, this is the Angelina Jolie dataset, new dataset 323435. That's the Angelina Jolie. And you would just click start training here and it should train. And it would give you like the LoRa or whatever it is back, right? And you would see all the information in this area. Again, this is the least developed part of the code, okay? So this is probably the 5% that's missing here, even though it's mostly functional, but it's missing things. And I would definitely want to make it mostly automatic, meaning that the basic settings should just be like you click and it just works. Regardless, so this would be the process. You would come in, you would get your data set, you would tag it, and then you could train. That by itself would be nice because a lot of these tools are separate and you'd have to use like 3 different tools to do something like that. And this would just make everything comprehensive and easy to use. But there's other stuff you can do as well. So go back to the detect here. I could go to faces. I can go here and I detect. And this is going to detect the faces that exist in the image. You'll see here that now there's boxes in the images around the faces that are in the image. And this is useful because if you remember earlier when we downloaded the image, we saw that there was one image with it didn't actually have her face in it. So I could come and do something like say, when you detect something, it will have a tag on the image. So I could say has face. This would be the images that have faces. I could also say no face, which is the images without faces. Now if I click this, you could see here that this image doesn't it shows up in the section here of the images without faces. You can see that these two show up as well. It just means that the thing failed to detect a face in those images. And I think that it often fails if the face is way too large. Generally, you'd want to remove these from your dataset anyway. Regardless though, it definitely failed on these two here. But you can see this one here. There's more stuff you can do. You can see that you can detect people. So this would detect like how many persons are on the image. So it wouldn't detect faces. It would check like the bodies of people and stuff. You can detect text. It will tell you like what text is in the image. So you can filter images that have certain text or certain parts of text. So if there's a word or something that's in the images, you could filter that. So those are just the detectors. But other things you can do as well. If I add /, then now it will start searching the properties of the image, I guess you could say. So if I say /width, I could say width is more than 1,000. I'll try this on a different data set because I was having issues with the other one. Regardless though, I say, come here and I say width is more than 1,000. What you'll see here is, if you look at the images, all of the images here, so the width would be the first one, it's width, then height, right? All of these images have more than 1,000 width, right? So I could also say like, height is more than 1,200. So these are all the images that the height is greater than 1,200. I could also say, for example, the width is equal to the height. So these would be images that are squares, right? So all of these images, the width of them is equal to the height. So these are the ones that are like this. I could also say stuff like the height is more than the width, meaning images that are portraits, so they're longer. All right, you can see that all of these are portraits, right? All of them are portraits. Like these are images where they're longer because the height is greater than the width. I could also even go so far as to say, I could say the height is more than, no, wait. The height divided by the width. This is probably what I wanted. The height divided by the width is more than, say, 1.2. So what that means is you could fit the width of the image into the height 1.2 times. Okay, so these are images that are longer, where the image is longer than the width by a certain amount. That's what that means, okay? Let's say 1.3. So these would be very long images then. I don't even know if there's images like that in the data set, but we'll see. Oh, okay. So you can see how long these are, right? These are particularly long images. And there's a lot of use here. You might want to filter out images that are too long, or there's too big of a difference between the width and the height. So you could just do this. And then all of these images, you just delete them from the dataset. Or you might only want images like that. So you include all of these images. There's a lot of extra stuff as well, but that's just with the height and width, right? There's way more to it than that, right? I mean, it would take forever. You could see all the different stuff here. I don't think this is everything. I think there's actually more than this, right? Oh, there's longest side ratio. Let me show you what that is. So longest side ratio, basically what that is whichever side of the image is the longest one, by what percent is it longer? Okay, so that could say, for example, longest side ratio is more than 1.2. Sometimes you do not want images with too big of a variation between width and height. So you could probably filter out all these images. And you can see that this one is longer, but this one is wider. You understand? So you might want to filter out all the images that are too long or too tall or whatever. And there's more stuff you could do. You could say, for example, faces. So this is after you detect objects and stuff in the image. You could say faces.count is more than X amount. So this would be all the images with more than one face, or all the images with only, so faces.count is equal to one face, right? Or you could say largest.width. So it doesn't actually autocomplete here. There can be multiple faces in the image, obviously, right? But you can actually select the faces. And you could do something like say faces.largest.width is more than say 100 or whatever. So what that would mean is the biggest face that was detected in the image, the width is more than 100 pixels. You understand? Or you could say that the biggest face in the image is smaller than 100 pixels, right? So you want to select all the images that have a face in them where the face is greater than a certain amount. You understand? This also works with other stuff. I think you could do like bodies as well. Or you could do objects. You could do persons as well. You could also select faces by their location. So I could say the leftmost face in the image. You're not seeing the autocomplete here. I mean, that's something I would have to fix, right? But still. Basically, the face that's on the left side of the image, the width of that is greater than the face that's on the right side of the image. And again, you can do this in any combination of things. Basically, the point would be, if you're trying to train a data set, there might be certain things you want to filter out, things you want to filter in, things you want to add, things you want to remove. And unless you have programming experience yourself, it can be difficult to be able to do that. And the point of this was to essentially give the ability to have ultimate flexibility while still being very simple. Because the most simple version of this is you go to the downloader, you download the images, you tag the images, and then you train the dataset. It would literally just be downloader, download, train, whatever. I can even simplify it even more, where it just like has one automatic interface or whatever that does all of that behind the scenes for you. But ultimately, not really too difficult to be able to do. But if you want to do more, you want to have images that have two faces, images with only one face, images with one person, images with text, images without text. You might want to take the text out. You might want to include the text in. That was the point of this. Somehow, past TingTingin thought this was only going to take 1 week to be able to complete. So, Jesus Christ. So, when you say it now, it's pretty clear why. It probably was going to take me a week. Oh, did I talk about anything else? Oh, yeah. You can also edit the tags in mass. And so, I mean, I guess I don't have to talk about these things. So it should be obvious that you would have features like that. You can edit tags, add tags, remove them, substitute them. I hope I could at least give you the general direction of what this is supposed to be, how it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to feel. So I can get your genuine opinion on, is this something you would use? Is this something you like? Is this something you want to see? And whether that be like, yes, no, maybe so, anything in the in-between. I'd very much like to know your true, genuine opinion. I'm fine. If you come and say, I would never use this in a million years, that's fine. Okay, I want to know what it is. Because ideally, I think I probably should just be making videos instead of doing this, honestly, right? Also, I want to say, if it is that people do want to see this tool, more than likely, it's not going to be released like, even though I said I'm 95% finished or whatever, it's not going to release like next week or very soon. I'm probably going to instead work on this on the side as I work on videos. I think I should just be working on videos more consistently. So more than likely, I'm going to be working on this as opposed to this being my main thing that I do. I'm probably going to be working on this on the side. So just keep that in mind. It's still going to take like maybe a week or two, even if there's overwhelming support or whatever, right? Like somehow, even if that's the case, it's probably going to take me a little bit to be able to get it out, right? Yeah, make sure to leave your comment. Let me know. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Thanks for supporting thanks for watching the video, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one, okay? Great.